here with a new tutorial, and this time I'm going to paint with you this boot. Okay, this is the boot from the Morgok's clashes, and he's Morgok. Okay, he is the leader of the Morgok clashes. So I will paint him very similar to this guy. He's the other minion from the Warhammer. So let's start and let's see how this goes. So I will start doing the flesh, because it's one of the most difficult parts to reach. And I will start applying a contour that is called Quit Camo. Okay, it's very dark green. And this is going to be the base of my paint job. I will do then several highlights, so all this color will almost disappear. But it's a way to have a green base, a dark green base, where to start. So I'm going to apply this. I don't care too much on the mouth. I will paint everything green. I will try to avoid to go on the armor or other parts where I don't need to have green. Okay. If I have small details like the earrings, at this moment I don't care too much. We're going to do them later on, and we're just going to apply this green layer. So I will do that, and I'm back once it's done. Okay, next step, I'm going to use Scaven Bright Ding. Okay, and I'm going to apply this on the trousers. Okay, I'm going to apply this there. We apply a thin layer. Water. Okay, I apply this, as you can see, on the trousers, and I'm back, and you can see how the skin is looking like now, still drying. Okay, this is why I do something that is not in contact with the skin. We have the bell and we have other parts in between. So I'm doing that, and I'm back. Okay, the gray is done, and while this is drying, I'm going to do this tabard that he's having, and I'm going to use corn red. I have it here as well in my white palette. I'm going to apply it like that. And again, I'm trying to be careful and not to dirt on other parts. I like to paint as careful as possible, because then I can see the details that I'm moving back, and then I can come back and paint them. If you paint them over them, it's very, for me, at least for me, it's very easy to forget them back and not coming back, and then you just realize when you think that the miniature is finished, or maybe another day. So this is why I like to leave them in white or in black, so unpainted, so I can see them easier. Especially if you're using white primer. If you leave something white, it will pop up very easily. It's more difficult with like a black primer. Okay. So I'm going to do the back as well of this tabard. I mean, for this side, it is going to be difficult to show in camera. So I will finalize this the base coat on the tabard, and I'm back. We have applied the red. Now we are going to apply Iron Breaker on the whole armor. Okay. I'm going to do all the metal parts with Iron Breaker, even the ones that I want to do red, and the ones that I want to do gold or brass. So we apply a thin layer. Very important that the texture is not covered in this case. There is a lot of texture on these armor plates. A lot of it's very rustic done, the armor plates. So we are going to apply this on all these plates. Try not to dirten the skin, the gray of the trousers that we already done. So we try to make a clean job here, and I will try as well to avoid to go into the leather belts, okay, or the shoes, is the shoes, something like that, okay. So we are going to apply that on the whole armor, and I'm back. Okay, we have applied all the metallics. Okay, almost all the parts are done now. And now I'm going to use Iriel yellow, and I will put this on the top notch and in another decoration that is hanging from his weapon, or from his arm. Okay, so we are going to apply a thin layer. It's quite thin down this paint now. So we are going to apply here a layer. And this is going to be a base because I want to apply red contours on top later on. So I want to give more orangey looking like finish. So I will do this here. And as well on the other decoration, you can see this is not too much mystery. We just apply a layer of this color. And if it's not perfect, I mean not perfect. If some parts are not fully yellow right, don't worry, because this is just a base to apply another paint on top. Okay, so I will finalize this. As you can see, it's quite fast. I almost did the top notch. And let me finalize this top notch, and then I will do the other part off camera. You can see, and the real yellow is covering quite nicely. So you shouldn't have too many problems. Be careful when you do this type of texture. Sometimes if the paint is very thin or have a lot of water, can make small bubbles. So eliminate them. Okay, so I will do now this part the same way, and I'm back. So we have applied all the iron breaker on the armor, and now and we wait that is dried. And now I'm going to use contrast wildwood to make all the leather bells that we have all around the orc. Okay, so I will apply it, for example, on these small things that are used to hang different trophies from the armor, like this. I guess it's a fan of some type of animal. Okay, and we are going to do the same here at the back with this type of, we have it as well on the handles of the weapons and so on. Okay, when we apply the contrast, I use more or less the same principles of when I apply a wash. So I try to not to avoid that it's pulling too much. You want to apply not a super thin layer, you want to apply some to have the shade effect, but you want to do this carefully. Okay, that is not pulling too much on that. Okay, it's not dripping and so on. So you can see here, and it gives a very nice text, especially if you apply this in like this, in this case, this type of bells or leather straps where you have quite a nice texture. So when you have a good texture, the contrast paints are working perfectly, right? So for example here we're going to apply it on the handle of this weapon. Okay. So I will do this on all the leather parts, and I'm back for the next step. So I have applied the brown, the wool brown on all the parts where I want leather. Now I'm going to use Blood Angels Red. And with this one I'm going to do two things. First I will paint the armor plates that I want to be red. Okay, let's put, for example, the shoulder pads that I want to make them in red. So we are going to apply this. Very important, try not to go onto the skin or other plates where we don't want the red. And you will see that we will have a very vibrant red at the end. Okay, of course we are going to dirten all this work to make it look less candy red and more weathered and dirty red. But you can see, so here you can see how I applied in just one of the armor plates, and then we're going to apply this as well on the where we have applied yellow before. So you can see how nice it works. Okay, and that we have right a very nice looking top notch just by applying red over yellow. The yellow will make the red a little bit darker, especially on the shade, and then we'll give a little bit of orange filter or orange highlights where we want the highlights. Okay, so here you can see that you can apply as well these colors on top of other like colors to achieve different types of effects. Okay, really nice, really a nice touch here. Okay, so I'm going to apply the red on the rest of the parts, and I'm back for the next step. Okay, this will look like once the red is applied. Okay, it looks very shiny. We are going to solve this later. Now I'm going to use snake bite leather, and we are going to put this on some part where I want to do some type of brass color. Okay, so goldish color, right? It's going to be quite dark. Yeah, we are going to do like that. Okay, on different parts. Okay, we'll do for example this part here where we have this type of teeth on the armor. I will do mainly all the decorations. Okay, as you can see. And I have to say, I like the texture they have given to these armor, so these armor plates, so it's really fun to paint. So I will do some other parts with snakebite leather, and I'm back. I will do as well the details here and so on. So I have done all the parts where I want to have this dark gold, and now I'm going to use Administrator Grey, sorry, Downstone, okay, on the dead head, so the chap heads he's carrying. Okay, when the flesh starts to dry up and so on, it starts getting a greyish color, so we are going to have this in the this grey as a shade. Okay, I'm going to apply this on the two shop heads he's carrying. Okay, so I'm doing that, and I will be back for the next step. Next, to give a darker look on the metallic parts of the armor, I'm going to use Basilicum Grey, the contrast, on the parts where I will leave it in metallic color, okay, in iron color. So this will give a very dark touch. I prefer to do this than the Black Templar, because it's not as dark as the Black Templar, and I think the Black Templar is going to be too much. But try to make it thin, and if you want to make it more transparent, you can add a little bit of medium to make it even thinner. Okay, in my case I apply it directly. Just be careful when you apply in the chainmail that you don't put too much, that you put everything black. Okay, so you can see I will do all the remaining armor plates and as well the blades. Okay, I'm doing that and I will be back for the next step. Okay, what you can see, let me do one weapon. Okay, you can see that I try to spray it as much as I can. Try to avoid this accumulating too much in any part. I realized that I missed here some ornaments that I want to do in gold, so I will do them as well again with the snake bite leather. So in doing that, now you can see who is done. I will keep doing that on the rest of the armor plate and the other weapon, and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step I'm going to use contrast Gilliman flesh on the two chopped heads that he's carrying. Okay, remember we have applied grey, and now I'm going to apply flesh color. Okay, something like that. Now I need to wait that this part is drying. So I'm going to use now bone color. In that case I'm going to use flayed one flesh to do the different fangs and the skulls that we have all around. So I include this one. Here. And I will do the skull. So I'm painting the skull as well, and I'm back once it's done. Okay, next step I'm going to use Retributor armor, and I will apply it on we can apply this on some of the decorations. I'll do this ring here. Okay, and I will do the rings on the weapons. Okay, so I will do the other weapon and I'm back. Next step I'm going to use Membrane Brown on the hair of the chop hairs, of the chop head, sorry. Okay, especially there is one that is this one here looks like a beastman, have like a horn, have some type of face hair. Maybe it's a beastman, maybe it's a chaos mutated guy. I will say it's a beastman. Okay, that's done. Now is the moment to do a wash, aggressive shake wash. I will do it over everything except the skin. Okay, and with this I think I will finalize, will be the last step on part 1, where we have done all the base paint and we are ready to start doing the rest. Okay, as you can see, I start from the top normally on a miniature and I start going down, and I put it as well on the top note because I think it's going to give even more contrast. That will look good. I will go as well over the walls and everything, all the colors except the green skin. Okay, so all the metallics I will make them look a little bit browny, dirty. Okay, you can see we'll even increase more the visibility of the different, and this will also, it's very important we put it on the red part because I want to make the red less bright. Okay, and this is important we put it there. Okay, you can see how I go. It's quite a fast operation, but we have to do the whole miniature. We'll put as well on the weapons. Okay, you can see. So I will do the rest. Okay. I will do all the rest of the armor and parts, and I'm back for the next step. So this is how it looks like when we have applied the wash everywhere. So now I need to wait that this fully dries, and yeah, and I will come back, but I will finalize here part 1, okay, on the painting of this orc, and I will come part 2 where I will do highlights and details. So I like to do it like that, so in that way you can have to, it's easier for edition, and as well it's easier for you to follow. In any case, if you like what is like that, this is ready for tabletop playing, okay? For gaming this is good. The next step is to put this miniature to a different level, nicer, and yeah, with showing more the volume. Okay, now it's a little bit dirty with all this wash, so the cleanup and details like doing the teeth, the face, and so on will make this will bring this miniature to life. So that's all for now. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.